Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday evening. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live, or whatever we're going to call this. Thank you guys for joining. Wow, got a bunch of comments coming in already. Awesome, guys. Okay, so today, just like we always do, we're going to roll the intro. And while that's happening, go ahead and put in the comments where you're watching from. We'll shout all your places out, which is really fun, I think, to see where everyone's coming from. So with that, let's get going. All right. We got Mandy in the house. What's up? Oh, this thing is huge. Let me fix this, guys. Sorry, on the spot. We're changing this. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. Jacob Spencer. What's up, man? Oh, it's big again. God. Okay. Here we go, guys. We're getting this figured out. I know why this is happening. I can explain to you guys here in a second. So last week, I didn't realize this, but I was accidentally streaming in 4K, and so like all the graphics were different sizes. So that's why like I have to go in here and kind of like edit this stuff right now. But let's see, what's the next one? Okay, Plots 33 is here. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Yeah, look at this. This is huge. Oh my gosh. We're gonna fix this. We are gonna fix this right here on the spot because that's all we can do, right? We are live, and I'm fixing this on the spot. Here we go. Okay, so maybe this is a better size. Danielle Castro is here. Hey everyone, welcome or hello everyone from Phoenix. Matt Roberts is here. Great to be back for another week. Hey from Bundaberg, Australia. Whoa. Awesome. Glad to have you again, Matt. Welcome back. Mandy's from Madison, Wisconsin. Kevin's watching from New Jersey. What's up, Kevin? John, Carmel, Indiana. Nice. Not too far away from where I am. Awesome. Glad to have you. Michael Krautz watching your Moab video before I jumped on. Awesome. Yeah, posted that this afternoon. Was like this yeah, today has been just like crazy. And I can explain a little bit why today's been so crazy. There's a lot of things going on in product world right now. And I wanted to get this Moab video out before the race. That's the Moab 240 race. That's this weekend. Because I don't know, like it just seemed wrong to put it out after. So I wanted to get it out. I got it out in 51 weeks. Yeah, that's not too bad for a timeline for a YouTube video. Jacob Spencer, Lafayette, Indiana, of course. That's right. What's up? I'm trying to fix this comment thing still. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Okay, should be good now. Plots is from Sterling, Illinois. Daniel Gibson from New Haven, Indiana. Nice, another Indiana person in here. Awesome. Michael, St. Louis, Missouri. Ultra Dad, Middletown, Ohio. What's up, man? Hope your training is going well for Mohican. Brian G, hey, from Reston, Virginia. Busy night, Yankees game and NBA finals are on. Yeah, sports, it's kind of like right now, it's like there's all the sports are happening right now. It's really crazy. St. Michael Hikes back home in Florida. Missed last week because I was in Kansas City. Yeah, no problem, man. Glad to have you back. Joe Walters, Pacific Northwest, Seattle. Awesome. Richard, Houston, Texas. Danielle, can't wait to watch the Moab video. Awesome. Yeah, it's a long one, so maybe watch it in a couple sittings or whatever. One sitting. It's not bad. Yeah. Happy that's done. Like I've been sitting on all that footage for now a year, and I'm just really, really happy to have it out. Plains of Runner, South Dakota. Labe is from Bedford, Indiana. Another Indiana. Nice. Allen, East Florida. Wilds of Chicago. Eric the Red. Dan Darling, how's it going, everyone? Always good to join the live show, Ryan. Thanks, man. Well, yeah, just a reminder for all you guys watching live, or if you guys are watching the replay later, because I know that the time, 9 p.m., is kind of hard for a lot of people in the Eastern time zone to get on, or around the world, wherever you are. Maybe it's the middle of the night, and maybe you should be sleeping right now. But yeah, so just to remind everyone, throw in your comments in the live stream. This is you guys' show. Like, you run the show. You guys ask the questions. We talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. It doesn't have to be running. Doesn't have to be filmmaking. It can be anything. So, but yeah, and then if you guys are watching the replay, put a comment down below with whatever questions you have, because I always do go back and try and answer all the comments. It's been getting tough though recently. I'll tell you that. You guys are on fire, like with these comments on all these videos. I love it. But it's getting to the point where it's like I'm spending almost as much time replying to comments as I am making the videos, which is so fun. But I don't know. It's getting crazy. You guys are crazy. St. Michael Hikes was able to get to BTS before it went live. Enjoyed these as much as a series. Awesome. That's really cool. And that's so funny, because I didn't I don't know, like when I'm putting these together, like for me, it just seems like, oh, here we are again, like just me, like in my Jeep, just driving around again. But I guess, like from the outside looking in, like I would really appreciate, if like Billy Yang or Ginger Runner or something like that did some behind the scenes stuff for their films. So, I'd probably geek out on that. So I guess it is. I mean, I guess it is pretty cool for someone that's not me watching it. Yeah. Oh, MK Hakimi is from Malaysia. What's up, man? Awesome. Thanks for joining. Jacob Spencer. Yeah, I saw your Strava post about this. I wanted to see what was going on with this. I couldn't. So Jacob just helped a friend do a virtual Hennepin 100 this weekend, and apparently that was going on like here in town, like really close to me. What just happened? Did you guys see that? Did it just go all black for you guys? That happened like 2 weeks ago. Something's going on with my camera. I'm sorry. But yeah, Jacob, that's really cool. I saw like one day you paced like 30 miles and the next day you paced like 10 miles for this, for your friend's 100-miler, virtual 100-miler, which is awesome. Ultra Dead, what's up? Run free, run strong. Yep. Awesome. You guys are talking. Nice. Love the rabbit shirt. That was my first 100 last year. Awesome. Yeah, I did this in, what year was this? 2018. And it was an incredible experience. I've been out to like big mountains, like Rocky Mountains, like several times. But actually getting to run 100 miles through the Rocky Mountains was something just on another level. Like, if you guys ever get a chance to do this race, Run Rabbit Run, do it. The 50-miler is amazing too. I think you go through some of the really cool parts. I think the 50-miler goes through, I can't remember the name of it, but there's like this super long descent that's like maybe like 5 or 6 miles down, a couple thousand feet, and it's like really exposed rock. And then you get down to this aid station, then you turn around and you go like straight back up. And that was like mile, maybe like, I don't know, somewhere around like 15 or 20 of the 100-miler. And I think the 50-milers go through that spot too. So if you guys ever want to take a road trip out to Colorado and do a really awesome 100-miler or 50-miler, Run Rabbit Run is awesome. So yeah, just to kind of like update you guys on like where I am with like training and everything. So right now I'm 10 days away from my 100 miler, No Business 100. And I am kind of, so my body just kind of needed to taper a little bit longer, or maybe, so it's kind of hard to explain. So after my solo 50, which was now 2 weeks ago, I just really I really believed that my body was going to recover in about a week, and that after a week I would be ready to get back going again. But it took a little bit longer than that. It took probably like 10 to 11 days before I really felt good. And then by that point, it was almost like that second weekend, and like things just still weren't like firing on all cylinders on that Saturday. So I kind of just did like a little bit shorter. Actually, let's pull it up. Let's see. Let me make sure I can show all this information. Yeah, we're good. So here's this. So like the 18th is when I did that solo 50. And then this whole week, like, as you can see, it's all yellow. Like I wasn't hitting the marks that I thought I was going to be hitting, like planning out for myself. And then right around like here, I was still like not feeling great a week out. Somewhere around like the last day of September, first day of October, started feeling like a little bit better. But then at that point, it was kind of like already into the weekend. And I was able to find a place with some pretty good vert for Indiana on this past Saturday. As soon as I can edit this video, I'll get this out, because it was a really, really fun run. Just did 13 miles and got 2,000 feet, which is great for Indiana. And then the next day was just still like I just still wasn't like back to like 100%. And so I just didn't want to push it like super hard the day after getting some vert. And I think something like, like right now, the past like 2 days, I've been just dealing with something like going on in my back, and just kind of like this whole, like the whole system, like it goes from leg to back. It's just something in there. I don't know if it's like a nerve or something that's a little bit aggravated, or if it's like maybe like part of my glute or part of my back that just maybe I like just like jostled something around there. Is that a word? Jostled. Like maybe I just did something. Maybe it's something like muscle related. I don't really know, but there's just kind of like out of nowhere, I'll just get like this like pain kind of in my back. And I've had that before, and it usually goes away in a couple days. So I think it's going to be fine, like in a day or two, but I'm just a little bit concerned about that. Obviously just like the worrying. But yeah, this week, it's just kind of right now all about just kind of like running like shorter miles, but bringing the intensity up just a tad. So like, instead of going out for like a 8 or 9 mile, 10 mile kind of like easy run, it would be like pulling it back more to maybe like a 5 miles with like the third or the fourth mile being like a little bit higher intensity. Or like today, I did just a 3 mile run at like 7:30 pace, which is pretty decent for me. That's like almost zone 3. But just kind of like trying to take what the body's giving me right now. And I'm like, again, I was just a little bit surprised at how much time it took to really recover from that 50. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was just kind of hoping to get like one more like really hard weekend in, which should have been this past weekend. But it just didn't work out that way, and that's fine. I would much, much rather show up to the start line of No Business 100 a little bit, maybe like in my mind, undertrained, like maybe missing out on 1 or 2 big workouts instead of showing up at the start line of No Business and like tired. My calves are tight, like everything's going wrong. Like I would much rather be just a little bit, like feel a little bit undertrained than a little bit overtrained or tired, basically. So that's that. That's kind of how training's been going. As far as, yeah, that's where we're at. And it's kind of like, I don't really know exactly like what to make of it. Like, cause I'm just like slightly disappointed that I didn't get like one more, just like really, really hard weekend in. But gotta be fine with it. Gotta move forward. Got to just focus on showing up to the start line of No Business healthy. Gotta let this whatever nerve thing or muscle thing work itself out in the next day or two. And then, the next 10 days are just going to be 100% just like focused on No Business, trying to plan out. Like I just ordered a bunch of stuff off Amazon, like an extra dry bag for my aid stations. So this race, there's going to be 4 drop bags, and I'm going to see one of them twice. So technically like 5 drop bags. So I needed an extra dry bag, so I got one of those. I ordered some caffeine pills. I ordered some, you have to have a space blanket. It's like a required gear item, so I had to order one of those. I got 2 new pairs of shoes, Ultra Olympus, the 4s. They come in tomorrow, so I'm going to be wearing those. I'll try to get about 20 miles in each pair before the race, so that they're a little bit broken in. 20 to 30 miles is like a decent amount to break shoes in, so I'm not worried about that. I also have the ones I've been running in are like kind of close to like 200 miles or so. So they're still good. Like I could wear those like the whole race if I wanted to, but yeah, we'll see. I was like, I got a new headlamp. That's coming in like in the next day or two. This is actually, I don't know if he ever watches these, but Tommy Byrne from Wisconsin, he recommended the Petzl Swift RL, and it's not that bad. It wasn't too expensive, but it's like much lighter than the one I have. Like I have the 2 of the Petzl Tika RXP. And those have been like my go-to headlamp for the last like 5 years. And I just kind of like cycle them back and forth. I always have a backup headlamp, and the one I'm using, but they're lithium ion batteries and they last for like 2 or 3 hours. If you have it on like the normal brightness setting, in order to get through the whole night or even 4 or 5 hours, like you have to have it on the like dimmest setting, which I've always been like kind of okay with, because I never really felt like I needed the trail to be like super, super bright. That was just me. But then going around to all these Triple Crown races, I saw all these guys with like the waist belt light like that Rob had. Tons of people had those. I don't remember what the brand is. Oh, Kogala. But those are like super expensive. And so they would have like the waist belt light and a headlamp, and it was just like, it was like they were out in the middle of the street, like just street lights. But I was able to see that does help quite a bit. So for this race, I got a new headlamp, and I'll be making sure I test that out a couple times, like in the mornings. Probably go on, I don't know, like normally during the last couple weeks before a 100 miler, I will go on a night run where I will just like start at 6 or 7 o'clock and try and run till midnight or 1 in the morning. And a lot of it's like walking too, but just getting used to going into the night and being in the darkness for 4, 5, 6 hours. But I don't really know if I've done enough of these 100 milers that I don't really know if I need, like I know exactly what to expect now going into the night. Like the darkness doesn't like worry me anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to do a workout like that, but I will be testing out the headlamp, making sure that it's all good. But I'm really excited for a lighter headlamp because these Tika RXPs are heavy, but they're fine. They're just okay. I mean, they're good. They're good headlamps. we'll see. Let's check out some comments, questions. I'm scrolling back up to see what you guys all said. We'll see here. Daniel Gibson, so excited to see you race soon. Awesome, Daniel. Thanks, man. Mandy says, after that 50 miler that is being held this upcoming weekend, I'm searching for a new goal. Midwest will be cold and dark in a few weeks. Yep. Asking for suggestions for races. I don't really know that many races outside of Indiana, like in the fall and winter. Like I usually stick pretty close to home during those months. But if you're in Indiana or close or want to come, like I can give you like plenty of suggestions. There's a lot of good races here, like in the fall. Let's see, Daniel just completed a 41-mile run as part of a walkathon at my school. Thanks for the great advice. Thus, 40 gave me a huge confidence boost. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. So 41 miles walkathon for your school. I wonder, were you like one of the leaders, or like, did anybody have more miles than you? Richard said, thanks for the tip on Davinci Resolve. Slowly figuring out how to use it. I have published 3 Vermont trail running videos so far. Awesome. That's really cool. Davinci Resolve is, I mean, the more I use it, the more I like it. What we're talking about here is like a video editing software. And a lot of people use Final Cut, which is Apple's video editing software. A lot of people use Premiere Pro. And then probably the third one that people use is Davinci Resolve. A lot of people are starting to use that. And it's great because you can download the free version and it has like 99% of what you need or want. The only thing it doesn't have is some of the like visual effects, like film grain, which like you can put film grain on YouTube videos, but the YouTube compression is not really going to be like favorable unless you're uploading in ProRes. And then it's like it's kind of debatable whether or not you can even see grain anyway. But like it's just certain like effects like that you really don't even need for YouTube is what's included in the full version. And then also the ability to do some other more advanced things. But it's like if you just want to get started editing videos and you don't want to pay anything, you can get Davinci Resolve for free, and it's like seriously like everything you need. Like, not kidding. I don't know. I mean, I think the reason why they do that is because the software part of their revenue is like such a small sliver of the pie that it's like it doesn't even matter to them. Like they want people to buy their hardware, which is great stuff, really expensive. But yeah, their software is such a small part of their business. That's how they can give it away for free. Let's see here. Run Free and Strong says, Ryan, will you film any of your No Business 100 race? Heck yeah, I will. I'll be taking my GoPro 9 and film as much of it as I can, showing you guys. Ultra Trail Steven, what's up, man? You're back. Hey, Ryan, get ready for No Business 100. Yep, absolutely. Trying to. Yeah, might give you a call, see what's going on over the next 2 weeks. If I have any questions about like gear to bring or something for that specific area, because if you guys don't know Ultra Trail Steven, I had him on the show last week. But he lives really close to the No Business 100 course, and so he's got some really good info. Let's see here. Oh, Brad just paid for Training Peaks. Really like it. Yeah, it's awesome. Nice. All right. Matthew's got a cold and rainy 50 miler coming up. Any tips? I mean, if you're not used to running the cold, like, I don't know, but like definitely, I would wear layers, so that you can switch out, like thin layers, just like, if it's cold, like maybe a long sleeve shirt and a jacket, or maybe two long sleeve shirts and a jacket or something. If it's going to be rainy and you're going to be moving quick, I wouldn't worry about like a waterproof jacket. If you're going to be moving slower or like through the night or something like that, then waterproof can really help a lot. But they do get really hot. Even if it's cold outside, like a waterproof jacket will get really hot because it there's no airflow. I mean, it's waterproof. I have a waterproof jacket that I really like from Solomon, but I don't know if I'm going to, like, I'm definitely going to bring it, but I don't know the logistics. It's going to be kind of like a game time decision, like which drop bag it goes in. Like if it's going to rain, if there's no rain in the forecast, then I'll just like put it in the middle or something, middle of the race, one of those drop bags. But if there's rain in the forecast, like that can be kind of tricky. Might actually just end up carrying it for a good bit of the race. But we'll see. But yeah, cold and rainy. It's going to suck. But it's going to, I mean, you're going to be fine. Like, if you want to bring a change of shoes or change of socks, like that could help too, depending on how cold it is. Oh, Ultra Trail Steel. I didn't know you used Davinci Resolve. That's awesome. Nice. Matthew says GoPro settings tips. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So for me, with the new GoPro, the GoPro 9, I was really hoping that since the sensor is now 5K, that the 4K would be like really good, with the stabilization and a wide lens. Cause that's what I like. Like I prefer for GoPro footage, I prefer, the wide lens for running. If it's going to be like just really like static shots or anything, like I'm fine with the linear. But if you're holding the GoPro, like you want to take advantage of that wide lens. So I was hoping that the 4K wide lens would be stable enough for my taste, but it just wasn't. Like, so I put it back down to 2.7K. And I always film running stuff, at 60 frames per second and then drop it into, oh, nice. What's up, Ultra Dad? Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I don't know if you put a comment in there. Oh yeah, you did. There you go. Got a 50K in last week. Excited to see how you do. Awesome. I did. I saw that. I think, did you put that you were also fasted or that you didn't have any calories or something during that? That's pretty crazy. But yeah, thanks, man. Thank you so much. So back to the GoPro setting tips. I put it 2.7K, 60 frames a second. I put the color on flat, so that I can, if you put it on GoPro color, it just bakes in like these really darks and like just super saturated colors. But if you put it on flat, it's really not that flat. It's still pretty saturated, but it gives you a little bit more room to do your own sort of color after the fact, like while you're color grading. And then what else? There's a couple other settings. Like I'll do, a lot of times, like I know this is really lazy, but I'll leave it on auto white balance, because when you're outside, like you only really need like to white balance once. But if you're going in and out of like a car or something, then, auto white balance can help. Or if you're going like into the night and back out or whatever. But I am going to try something different with the night shots at No Business. I'm going to have a setting, an extra, like, I forget what they call it, like just a shortcut setting for night. And I'm going to change it to the shutter speed. I'm going to lock. I'm going to put at 24 frames a second and the shutter speed at 1/48. And then I'm going to put, because that's always what you want to do. You want your shutter speed to be half of your frame rate or double, however you think about it. And then, so I'm going to lock that down so that things don't get blurry. And then I'm going to set the white balance at 3200 Kelvin to try, because I was reading somewhere that the GoPro does a really bad job guessing white balance in the dark. And so if you lock it down, like basically in the dark, if you lock all your settings, it will be better. Even if it's a little bit darker, you can make it work later. But what GoPros have a really, really big problem in the dark. They guess wrong constantly. And the first thing it tries to do is make the shutter speed really slow to try and let more light in. And also hypersmooth is really bad at night. GoPros are really meant for bright sunshine. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny camera. So I guess you can't really like complain that much. But yeah, that's the settings I use. And so the reason why I put it down at 2.7K is because the stabilization is a lot better. Like I don't like the Hypersmooth 3.0 or the Boost because it crops in too much. Like I just really like the wide lens that the GoPro has, and I want to use it. When you crop in a whole lot, kind of takes away from that. So anyway, yeah, Dan Darling says, still trying to get my editing skills in Davinci Resolve. I need things to film on, so I have things to edit too. Yeah. Also, I would definitely recommend, like if you're trying to get faster at editing, make sure you have all your shortcuts. And just a couple that I always use, like I always do C is for the cut tool, the blade. V is for just the regular pointer. So I put like these two fingers basically on the C and the V, and then those are just constantly, I use those tools constantly. And you got your thumb on your space bar for play, pause. And then F, the F key is I forget what the actual word for it is, but it's when you like delete a section of film and it brings the rest of it back. It's just, I'm just blanking on the name of it. But those three keys is what I use the most. And then for zooming in and out, I still come from an audio background. And in Pro Tools, zooming in and out is R and T. T is zoom in, R is zoom out. So when you've got RTFCV, you've got almost all of your really important like video editing keys right there. So get some shortcuts, whatever you want, but get your shortcuts in there, and you'll become a lot faster. Everything just becomes like, you don't have to think about it if you got your shortcuts in there. So, yeah, John, I agree with that. You say watch the founder of Davinci Resolve say that it's to get people interested, and also what you said about the hardware. Yeah, nice. Ultra Trail Steven, talking about no business, says, yeah, man, I'm doing the same. Just trying to figure out what shoes I'll wear. Yeah, I know what shoes I'm going to wear. In the past, I've like tried to wear shoes with like Superiors or Lone Peaks for 100 milers, but I always end up switching to Olympus at 50 miles anyway. So the last couple ones I've done have just been all Olympus, and they've been fine. I'm really hoping that my feet are tougher this year from running every day. I'm still on my run streak from day after Christmas. So I think that's what, like, it's getting close to like 300 days probably. Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, I'm hoping that my feet are a little tougher because in the past, I've had bad problems with blisters. Not like super debilitating or anything like that, but just like bad enough where it's just like really painful. Like Run Rabbit Run, actually, this race. I had my pacer was with me, and at mile oh, what's up? Alan East, super chat for $9.99. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Let's see what this question is. Have to sign off, but wanted to let you know that I bought the Torrent 4.5 plush because of your review. Awesome. That's really cool. Also, keep up the great work with your videos. Well done. Thank you so much, Alan. That is awesome. Alan's signing off. See you next week. Thank you so much. That's really cool. But yeah, what I was saying, so at Run Rabbit Run, like mile like 90, I had a really bad problem with my feet. There was like one blister on each foot forming underneath, kind of like the ball of my foot. And at like mile 90, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it felt like the skin on the bottom of my foot was just like splitting in half. And it didn't happen. Like, I was convinced it was happening, but it just, one foot went, and then about 10 minutes later, the next foot went, and it was like something with the nerves down there. I actually talked to someone that knows quite a bit about this stuff, and he said it probably had to do with feet being wet and the skin being just wet for so long, and then there was probably a blister forming, but then also there was some nerve stuff going on. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen again for this one. I don't think it will, because part of the reason that happened at Run Rabbit Run was because of the like 25,000 feet of gain and descent. Like just, climbing up and down mountains. That's really tough on your feet, especially if you're from Indiana. You don't get that very often. But yeah, we'll see. But Olympus, like they help with that kind of stuff. Like they give you just a little bit extra padding underneath there. So I think I'm like way behind in comments. So I'm going to scroll down to the most recent ones and see what we got over here. Matt Roberts says, just got some Escalante 2.5s. They're great for road runs. How did the Olympus differ from the Lone Peaks aside from cushion? They're very, very different shoes. Kind of hard to describe, but the fit is really different. Like the Olympus are a little bit more narrow. Lone Peaks are wider. The upper on the Lone Peaks is looser too. Like I just have a lot more space in the Lone Peak than I do in the Olympus. Like Olympus are just more, like they just feel like more locked down. For my foot, it just fits great. But the outsole is also different. Like the Lone Peak is more aggressive. So it'd be better in like muddy conditions than the Olympus. Olympus has a little bit more padding, like around the ankle area. But yeah, really, really different shoes though. Richard says, barefoot walking, toughen up your feet. There you go. That's a good idea. Daniel, what's up from Chile? Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Thanks for joining. Oh, Jacob, been dealing with fasciitis issues in my left foot. I assume that's plantar fasciitis. I don't know if there's more than one fasciitis, but yeah. Oh, plantar fasciitis. Yeah, I had plantar fasciitis in my left foot for probably 2 years, and it never went away. Every day, it was just bad. I went to a foot doctor. I went to 2 different chiropractors. I went to 2 different physical therapists over this 2 years, trying to fix it. And unfortunately, like the news that I have for you is that it just kind of went away on its own. And it went away so slowly that I actually thought that I was just getting used to it. And I was just building up a tolerance for the pain. Like that's how slowly it went away. And then it wasn't like one day I just noticed it was gone. It was just like one day I was like, like I actually don't think it hurts. And I don't think it has hurt in a while, but it was seriously like 2 years. I think and I just had a recent flare up, a couple weeks ago, but what I do to combat it is you have to get it early. That's the problem. There's plantar fasciitis, and then there's another like fasciotis or something. There's a just like acute version of it, and then there's a chronic version of it. And if you don't treat if you don't treat it in its early stages and treat it really aggressively, it could turn into the chronic version, which is what I had, which is where the body just kind of like gives up trying to heal it. And that's when people get surgery. But I never got surgery. I never wanted surgery because the way they repair that is they actually just like cut out the part that is causing pain, and they don't there's no replacement. Like your body doesn't, so you just have less of the connecting tissue there. So I don't know. I mean, if anybody's ever had the surgery, like maybe, I mean, I'm sure you know a lot more than I do, but that's the way the doctor described it to me. And I was like, heck no, like I'm just going to deal with the pain forever if that's the case. But it ended up going away. But the way I combat it with the like acute, like if over the course of a couple days or something it starts building up, is I have my calf stretching board that I put a link to this in every single video because of how important it is to me. But I get on there and I stand on with both feet, straight leg for 2 minutes. And then I get off and I do 2 minutes single leg at a time with a bent knee. So straight knee first and then bent knee, 2 minutes each calf. So it ends up, it just takes 6 minutes after every run. But that's how I keep it away now. And that's really the only way I know how. It's what worked for me. So yeah, good luck. You just really, you really gotta be aggressive with it at the beginning. 'Cause yeah, you don't want that chronic version of it. It was like everybody, the doctor, chiropractor, physical therapist, they all just told me there's really nothing you can do. Like if you want the pain to be gone, you can have the surgery, but you're going to have less of that connecting tissue then. And that's going to cause problems later in life if you want to keep running. So yeah, plantar fasciitis it's a crazy one, man. Oh yeah. Braden says, find someone that will focus on your calves. Your calves relax, the pain will decrease. Yep, that's exactly right. And that's like you gotta, the way it was always described to me is that it's a chain and it goes all the way up. And you got like the way to release the pressure or release the tension is to lengthen that chain. And so lengthening your calf, just making sure your calf is always stretched out, especially after your run. Like you can be really aggressive stretching your calves after a run. You don't want to beforehand because that can cause issues with your gait and everything. But afterwards, you can be super aggressive. A lot of like foam rolling and stuff too. But stretching is what helped me. Age Only a Number says, I just jumped onto YouTube to watch Moab 240 behind the scenes, but saw you were live. So we'll hang out for a bit. Awesome. Oh, this is former Boomer Warrior. Changed the name. Still doing newbie runner training. Awesome, man. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining the live. You won't be a newbie runner for long if you keep hanging around us. John Kuhn says, mine got better after a year or so, but it started getting better by implementing an ice bath after runs plus yoga. Oh, interesting. I didn't really ever, I did ice a little bit at the beginning, but that's interesting. Ice baths. I ran my second marathon with fasciitis and it was a horrible pain. Yeah. The interesting thing for me is that it never hurt while I was actually running. It was only after I would stand up from sitting down, at work or on the couch or especially in the mornings getting up out of bed, that's when it hurt the most. And I would almost just hobble. It was I don't know. I felt like my body was totally broken. But yeah, Jacob says working on the calves with the balance board actually, so hopefully it goes away. Yeah, balance board, that'll help too with strength and mobility and everything. But yeah, make sure you're stretching it aggressively too. Yeah. Elliot says, any tips with knee pain? I'm relatively new to running at 25 years old. Probably messed up my knees lifting weights. Tried out a knee brace today while running, but it only helped a little. I'm not a doctor or physical therapist, but I'll just echo what the professionals have told me is that everything in your legs, it's a chain. And so if you've got pain in one place, it's possible that it could be stemming from somewhere else. If you've got pain in your knee, there could be actual damage to your knee from lifting weights or something like that. But it could also be because you have tight hips, tight glutes, or you've got, maybe you can increase your mobility a little bit by stretching, by doing body weight exercises. But yeah, that's what I would say. I always recommend people to go search out and find a good physical therapist. And I know that it can be kind of expensive, depending on your insurance, depending on what country you live in. In the US, like specifically Indiana, I have to actually go to a doctor and get a doctor to write me basically a prescription for physical therapy before I can go even get an assessment at a physical therapist. And then at that point, I can only, like, they can work on whatever else I need. Like so when I went in for, like last year, I went in for like IT band syndrome. But then during that time, there was other things, like she helped me with my plantar fasciitis, and she helped me with some other things. And so she can work on, like, the physical therapist can work on anything else. But once you're kind of done with what you came there for, you have to leave after. And so, like, usually it's like 6 weeks is what they'll see you for in Indiana. So every state, every country is different. But I would recommend searching out a good physical therapist, getting, just, finding other running friends or other, people who are sporting friends, like that work out a lot, and just get some recommendations, and go to someone good. Because I've also gone to bad physical therapists that were just a complete waste of time. But, what's up, Marcel? A little late, no problem. Welcome. Old Toad says, "Are max cushion shoes bad for your joints?" So I've heard that before, but I've never heard it from anybody that was like a doctor or anything like that, or a physical therapist. I don't know. Like, I think, yeah, probably if you only run in max cushion shoes all of the time, your joints will probably not be as, they'll probably, what's going to happen is you're going to your body will kind of naturally just go in a different direction. It'll get used to that. But if you run in just kind of like all different kinds of soles, or more minimal, like, your body's going to develop a tolerance for that too. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a doctor. I've heard that before, but I've never heard it from anybody that I actually thought knew what they were talking about. Yeah, I use all different kinds of, like, I run in Escalantes that are really, like low stack height. And then I run in Olympus for ultras. I don't like run in Olympus all the time. Those are max cushion shoes. I just, run in them for ultras, basically. So, let's see. Ultra Dad says, "Did you hear about the new Mohican course? Now going to be one giant loop with 21-mile section repeated twice, using private land for a bunch of it. Ever thought about trying that Super Slam again?" Oh, wow. That's interesting. I did not know about the new Mohican course. It used to just be 4 laps, and the first 2 laps were longer than the second 2. It was like 2 27-mile loops and then like 2 23-mile loops, which was kind of cool because, when you got the 2 27-mile loops done, your brain is telling you that you're halfway done, but you're also farther than halfway. So that was kind of cool to do it that way. And there was also a really cool climb up some, like, a tree root system. And you kind of had to, it was almost like a ladder on the first 2 laps, but then they didn't make you do that through the night, which was good, I guess. But no, I hadn't heard about the new course, and I hadn't heard about the private land. And then the Super Slam, your other question, I don't know if I'll ever try that again. Maybe, definitely not next year. Next year I need to qualify for Hard Rock again. So that'll be happening. And if any of you are really slick on Ultra Sign Up, you'll be able to figure out what I'm doing next year. But I'm not saying anything yet. I'm focused on No Business 100. Platt said, "Switching to zero drop shoes eliminated knee pain for me." Nice. That's awesome. Joel O says, "Any recommendations for immune system boosters following ultras or 50 plus miles, especially given the current pandemic? Good luck and No Business." Thank you. I would say just, you know, get rest, you know, take naps, sleep well, eat a lot of vegetables. That's what I would recommend. A lot of times that's not what you want to do. I mean, everyone sleeps after ultras a lot. Not the first night though. The first night is like really, really hard to sleep, at least for me. Like I can never sleep. Like after every 100 I've done, that first night is just like awful, because you always have to go to the bathroom like every 5 seconds, but you just can't, because like you know, you literally like can't walk, yeah, like my body just like would like jolt myself to sleep. I would be sleeping and I would just like jolt myself awake like every 30 minutes. Like after every 100, that's always how it is. I sleep for like 5 hours, maybe, that first night. That's like all I can stay in bed for. And then I have to get up and just like lounge around. Not a whole lot of walking. I mean, some, but yeah, eat your vegetables. That's what I would say. Yeah. Oh, and then for Mohican, the state park permit didn't go through. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, we'll see. If you guys got any other questions, definitely ask them. I'm kind of scrolling through here to see if we have anything else. Yeah, I'm going to be, as soon as this is over, I'm going to be editing a video that's hopefully going to come out tomorrow morning for a new product that's pretty exciting. There's been a couple new things this week. I'm actually kind of behind on stuff like that. There's today, so I got invited to do for like a early beta preview of Stride's new firmware software update. It's really what it is. It's for a new it's a training plans basically. That's all it is. But my iPhone also stopped working last week. So I dug out, this is really, really sad, but I've paid for the insurance on my phone for 2 years every month. And then 8 days after the insurance expired, the screen stopped working, like just went black and won't turn on. You can still touch it and you can still do everything. Like the first day it happened, cause like my work, everything is tied in through like this, like, access key, like on my phone. So like, I can still like click on apps and like log in passwords and stuff, but you just can't see anything. But like, if you memorize where things are, like you can still do it. But yeah, screen's just black, and 8 days after the insurance expired. So luckily, Apple just announced that their new iPhone event is happening a week from today, which will be exciting. Hopefully I'll pre-order it. But yeah, I'm using a super old iPhone 6, which is so slow. I can barely do anything on it. Replying to comments on YouTube is really hard. But yeah, I'm using an iPhone 6 right now, and the beta, like the developer app for Stride, doesn't work on it. So I haven't been able to do anything. And the web interface, like you have to set it up on the app, but it is going to be really cool. Like if you want to see a preview, go to Chase the Summit's YouTube channel. He did a really nice preview today of it, because apparently he has a phone that works. But yeah, it's really cool. Like you can set up, like you can say, I'm training for a marathon or a half marathon, and you can tell it like what days you want your long runs to be, like kind of like how many hours a week you want to train, what your intensity level is, like that sort of stuff. And then it'll spit out a training plan for you. And it's just software. Like it's supposed to like watch like as you go and how you're responding to workouts and make adjustments, similar to what a coach does. But it is going to be a monthly fee for the coaching when it comes out next year. But yeah, I was supposed to put out a video on that today. Couldn't, had to tell Stride that my phone broke, and so I can't test this out for you. There's another product announcement coming tomorrow that I've got a video. Hopefully I'll have that done by 10 a.m. And then I'm working on another one and trying to put out vlogs and trying to put out this Moab video that I just finally got out. That's been, those have been kind of the hardest ones to do, because it's just so much just like vloggy type video, and trying to like put it together like with some semblance of like a story and like music, and yeah, those have been really hard, but those are done, and now I can archive all of that footage and get it off of hard drives and onto other hard drives. Yeah, I don't have, like, I have the typical like YouTuber hard drive setup, which is just a bunch of random hard drives in my closet that are stacked up. I don't have like a really good system. I need to look into like a NAS or something like that. Especially now, like as things are kicking, like I'm filming everything in ProRes now with my Ninja 5, so it takes up a lot of space. But anyway, yeah, I'm like really like backed up on videos right now, trying to get them out for you guys. But yeah, let's see. Braden says, you tell us when you are going to Wyoming for Bighorn and I will join you at the start line. Bighorn, I actually like, that's a really cool one that I want to do. That's not the one I'm doing next year. But Bighorn looks really cool. That is a Hard Rock qualifier, isn't it? I'm not actually sure on that, but yeah. So yeah, guys, it looks like, I think I've answered like as many questions as I've been able to see. Yeah. Looks like you guys are, what's really cool is you guys are like answering each other's questions and like beating me to the punch. So that's, I mean, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for jumping in and helping each other out and making this a real actual community. That's why we do these, that's why I do this stuff on Tuesday nights, is just to get everyone together, and just ask some questions and just like really like, just kind of like, no structure really. I would love to, especially after my race, I'd love to start bringing people on like more regularly, even if it's just like quick conversations. The software I use for live streaming, Ecamm, just came out with a new interview feature, which makes it incredibly easy to get people on. Like, you don't need Skype anymore, you don't need Zoom, you don't need any of that junk. You can use your phone, you can use a camera like this or whatever. But yeah, we're going to hopefully be having a lot more people on. But yeah, no business. I think it's 10 days from now. Just really trying to gear up for that and plan it out. What I'm going to need, where I'm going to need it, drop bags, all that stuff. I will fill you guys in on all of that, like with some videos. Definitely going to be like filming that whole process. And if you have any questions about like specific things that you want to see, like how I prepare for it or what I pack or how I pack it or anything like that, put those questions like in the comments on this video, like after it gets published, or just on any video really, or shoot me a Twitter message or something like that. And I will try to film some of that stuff that you guys want. Oh yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Braden says it's a Western and Hard Rock qualifier, and yes. Okay. 2022 or 2023 works out too. Yeah. That'd be awesome. I would love to. So here's a good question. This has actually been one of the most, probably the most of the comments on the 50 miler video, like a lot of the questions have been about nutrition intake. And I did not really think that it was going to be that like no one's getting like heated or anything like that. Like it's not like people aren't getting all bent out of shape or anything. But a lot of people are like, you use like only gels, and I didn't really think it was that weird, but apparently it is. But yeah, so for the solo 50 I did, I think it was like 10 gels and a couple bottles of Gatorade. Which a lot of people were like, Gatorade's terrible for you. But I was like, I don't know, I'm running 50 miles. Like, it's not that bad. Probably better than eating candy, which is what a lot of aid stations have. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, I just did like 10 gels and some Gatorade, and there was like so many like interesting opinions about that. But yeah, I just like I like eating food in hundreds. I don't like eating food in 50 milers or less. It just seems like it. I don't know. I just don't feel like I need it. But 100 milers definitely. And that's going to be really interesting for No Business because these aid stations are going to look different. Most of the food is going to be prepackaged food, which I'm okay with. Like, none of this is anything, like, I'm not frustrated about any of this, so don't take it that way. But like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, we have to do things a safe way so that we can all get home and stay healthy after the race too. But yeah, they're not gonna be like cooking any food, like no soup or like any hot food or anything like that, like pasta or anything like that, like you typically might see in the middle of the night at an aid station, which is like typically where I'll eat solid food is, like starting like halfway through the night until the morning, because you're moving a little slower and you're starting to fall asleep and stuff. So you want to get some calories in you. You want to get some coffee or caffeine or something like that. But it's going to be really interesting to see what they have at these aid stations, because from what I've seen in the race packet, it's going to be mostly prepackaged food. And I don't know what that could be, like bags of chips or crackers or Twinkies. I don't know, but it's going to be something different. So it's going to be really interesting. And yes, for those of you that are wondering, I will be bringing my Gopro and I'll be filming everything I can. So, yeah. Same topic. Age only a number says, I'm continually confused about runners' nutrition. Seems like there's a ton of variability in different ways to balance protein, carbs, and fats. Have you done a specific video on nutrition? No, I haven't done a specific video on nutrition. I might. There's a company reached out to me this morning, actually, that kind of deals with not nutrition, but more like testing to develop your nutrition. And so I might work with them like after this race. And if I do, I'll let you guys know everything that I find. Obviously, like that would be the point of working with them, is making a video on it. But yeah, I don't focus on counting calories. I mean, I count calories, but I don't count like carbs, proteins, fats during a race. And I never do anything. I never do any type of tracking or counting outside of running, like at home or anything like that. Like I just don't. But yeah, during a race, I just try and eat when I'm hungry. That's kind of like what's worked typically for the races that have gone well. The races that have gone poorly is when I try to eat more than I should. And that's honestly like why I eat less. And I think why people are probably so surprised from that 50 miler video where I only had 10 gels and no solid food or anything like that. And the reason why is because some of the recent races where I've got sick is because I know it's because I was eating too much, because my stomach was not digesting the food. So it was a combination of probably going too fast or having too high a heart rate, maybe being a little bit under trained possibly, and then also trying to eat too much. And so like all of that combined, just like messes with you. And so what I've been doing recently is if I'm going to err, I'm erring on the side of being a little bit under on calories, and then I can always like fill up if I need to. Like if I need to slow down and start walking or something, and just eat a gel or two, or stop at an aid station and eat some food, you know. But yeah, I don't like puking in races, and that's happened too many times. And I'm pretty sure it's almost always because I've got too much in my stomach. But we'll see. I'm like as fascinated about anything as I am about seeing how my gut handles a 100-mile race. And I'm going to be like, I'm really going to give Spring Energy a shot. In the past, like I've had other nutrition companies that I've worked with. Was actually sponsored last year, and things didn't go well for my 100-milers. And so with this, I'm going with Spring. Like it's like they're expensive, but they work for me so far. They've worked in, like I've never really gotten sick or felt sick while taking Spring gels. So we're going to take them as long as we can at no business. And I will be kind of like probably grazing at aid stations, like maybe grabbing some, just some, you know, something like solid food, like, cause I do think it is important to get some solid food in your stomach. Did the screen just go black again? This is driving me crazy. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you want to get some solid food, going early so that when you need it later, like your stomach isn't going to be like super surprised by it. But yeah, so that's where I'm going to end it. There's some guesses coming in as to what my plans are for next year. That's fun. Yeah, I'll let you guys know after no business, unless someone figures it out first. Yeah, awesome. Upcoming race, so exciting. Can't wait to follow along. Yes, it went black. Dang it. I don't know what is going on. Yeah. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This was a fun one. Next week, we'll be talking about maybe I'll be like maybe I'll go through some of my gear that I'm going to be using for the race. And I'm be taking all sorts of questions about the race. I'll definitely have my plan dialed in a lot more next week. I'll have a couple of these product videos done. You guys will have already watched them by next week, and will be only no business. That's all I need to think about starting in a day or two. That's all I'm going to be thinking about for the next like few days, until the race. And then we're going to go and we're going to do it. And, we're going to do a race in 2020, finally. But yeah, you guys will be joining me for the whole thing. And like, that's honestly like one of the most, like one of the coolest things about this whole YouTube thing is that, even when I'm like alone out there, like I know that there are a lot of people like cheering for me and just, hoping that I finish, hoping I do well. Or maybe you're hoping that things go horribly wrong so you get an entertaining video. But regardless, there's people out there that care. And that's just really, really awesome. And that means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, with that, I'm closing this one down for the night. And I'm going to start working on the video that's supposed to come out tomorrow. And that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.